Never stop connecting with anyone, anywhere, anytime about real estate. I would double down on cold calling, door knocking, circle prospecting, posting on social media, and just do open houses. That is how any agent can be successful and can win in this market and any market going forward. I think as many face-to-face interactions that you can make with a buyer or a seller are the most important things. And it starts over the phone until you get face to face.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Built for More podcast. I'm really excited for this one. Obviously, we've got the legendary Matthew Smith. Matthew, how are you, sir?
Dude, if I was any better, I would be you.
No, if I was any better, there'd be. Okay, I forget what the gal said on the thing. She goes, that's actually what she said when
Is
we were on
it?
the call. Yeah, I go, how you doing today? That the gal who we were talking with yesterday about coming on our into our community,
Yeah.
she literally said that exact thing. I was like, I'm gonna steal that. So I went to say something there, but I realized you had already stolen it.
Yeah, you got to be quicker than that, man.
I know. I'm excited for today on the Built for More podcast.
Yes, sir.
We have someone who is, well, a phenomenal human being and a great guy and a great friend of mine and a part of the Built for More community. And he's going to be running our Built for More community agent mastermind that we have every other week. Ladies and gentlemen, Kody Weitzel. Kody,
What's
how
up,
are
brother?
we?
I'm doing terrific. Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate you. And
Uh,
Matt,
real Real quick, is the one ear pod, is that a stylistic thing or what is that kind of like you roll up one of your pant legs like LL Cool J? What are we doing here?
sometimes I do that if I'm riding my bike. I don't want to get my pant leg to get stuck in the chain, but I like to be able to
Okay.
hear what's going on around me still. All right.
Okay. Okay. Where are you at right now?
I'm up at Trinity. I'm at the model, baby.
Atta baby. Well, hey, really excited to hop in here. I know that there is Matt right before this. We were discussing, and Matt's like, I think team leaders want to know how to attract a Kody, and then agents want to know how to be a Kody. And so we want to get to know the audience to get to know you a little bit better, as well as maybe deliver a little value to the audience today. Okay, Kody,
Got it.
you
So
ready to rock and roll?
let me
Yes,
dive
sir.
in here. So for those of you listening, they're like, "Hey, what's going on here?" Number one, we just roll off the cuff here. It's just what we do. And number two is that Kody is an agent on Dustin's team, and not just an agent. He's probably one of the elite agents in the industry. And so, Cody, if you don't mind, just share a little bit about who is Kody, what's your track record, so that as people are listening, hopefully they don't wreck hearing your numbers. If you're driving right now listening, but I want you to realize the quality of guests that we have here today to provide value to the audience. So, Cody, take it away.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So 6 years ago, I moved to Lake Havasu City, Arizona. I'd never been here before. We're in a town of 55,000 people, about 3 hours outside of Phoenix. I used to work for Albertsons. I was in the corporate world. I moved out here to take over the store. I ran that store from negative EBITDA, brought it back positive, ran the whole thing through a remodel. I managed about 140 employees when I wanted to continue moving up and I wanted to move back to Phoenix and I wanted to continue growing with the company and ultimately become the CEO of Albertsons was my ultimate goal until I applied for a position to move back to Phoenix and I got passed up, which fired me up to try to do something different. So I'd been following Dustin online a little bit because I worked out at the CrossFit gym in town. A couple of the guys in there own a title company and own a mortgage company. And then Dustin's wife, Lee, was somebody that I had been working out with. We partnered in a competition where then I got to actually meet Dustin face to face and see that everything that the agents were posting on the team and everything that he was posting online was actually true. Because to me, it looked like some crazy thing. I was like, there's no way people could be making this kind of money, this happy. It just looked like an insanely great environment. And I wanted to be a part of it. So I got in school, took me 6 months to get my license because I was still working 60, 70 hours a week running the store at Albertsons. I got my license and I said to Dustin, I said, hey, can we sit down and meet? I want to talk about joining the team. So I rolled into Dustin's office. He jokes about this all the time. I had my button up, my slacks, my earpiece, walkie talkie in,
Oh
looking
man.
super official. And I sit down with him and I said, hey, look, I want to do real estate part time. These guys at the gym are telling me that I can make 200-300 grand a year in real estate part time and still run the grocery store. I was like, I don't know if this is really possible, but let's see. And he said, I don't usually do part time agents. We want everyone to be full time, but I'll take the chance on you if you will come in on both of your days off and you'll stop working over at Albertsons between 5 and 5:30 and come in and make cold calls. So it's exactly what I did. I had Sundays and Thursdays off. And for my first 4 weeks, I spent Sundays and Thursdays full time in real estate. The other days I would come in after work. So I would hit the mojo dialer and cold call, cold call, cold call. And I started to see some success with that. I got one pending transaction, and I saw the other agents on the team that were making 200-300 grand a year. And I said, really, all I need, because I was now at this point, I was unhappy working where I was because I got passed up for the position, and things changed in the retail industry over the years. People didn't work as hard. You had to deal with just a ton of adult babysitting over there that I didn't like doing anymore. And I just wasn't happy. So I said, as long as I can make 120 grand a year is what I was making over there in real estate, I'll pull the plug and I'll quit. So I sold off some of the toys that I had, put a little bit of cash in the bank. I gave a 4-week notice. And in August of 2021, I started full-time in real estate. That first year, after going all in, I did 8 transactions for like 3.6 million.
Hold on real quick. Your very, very first transaction that you closed, though. Okay.
Big Bass Cove.
Hey, Bass Cove, dude. How do we celebrate Bass Cove, dude?
Well, we celebrated it with a couple dogs because my last name is Weitzel. So Dustin ordered a couple chili dogs from Wiener Schnitzel, and he's trying to bring back the nickname Snitz. It's not currently working. A lot of people in the office, they call me Cobot because I operate a little bit like a robot and how consistent I am. But Snitz, Cobot, really, it doesn't matter what you call me as long as you call me. That's what I tell my clients, and it seems to be working well.
So, Dustin, are we bringing back the nickname? Is that what we're trying to accomplish here?
He's working on it.
One thing I want people to know about Kody is, and that I love about him, is he takes what he does really, really, really seriously, but he doesn't take himself seriously. And those are one of the things just by being around Kody. Like, we have a lot of fun in the office. We joke around a lot. He messes with almost everybody in the office, and it makes it really, really fun. And so his last name, we've got Wiener Schnitzel here in Arizona, guys, which is the hot dog place. So he closed his first deal. I got a bag of hot dogs, and we cheers to a chili dog on his first on Bass Cove. So anyways, keep rocking, Kody.
All right. Thank you so much. So we're going to have to do that again soon. Those hot dogs are just so incredibly not delicious. But second year in real estate was my first year full time. So I did 62 units for $27 million, where then it allowed me to bring on a full-time partner, showing assistant, power partner, whatever you want to call that. But basically, he's another savage. I took him out of Albertsons. He worked for me over there. He was a courtesy clerk. And when he left Albertsons, he was the second in charge of the store. Great guy. His name is Richie. So he came working with me my second year, which would have been 2023. We were able to do 200 transactions that year for 57 million. Currently, as we are sitting here right now, we're at 55 million with 195 closed. Looks like we're going to end the year somewhere around 230 units closed for between 65 and 70 million.
Amazing. Amazing.
And you know how we do that?
How?
The one way that we do that is Dustin's shirt. It says it right on there. I know you can't see it on the podcast, but we do that by consistently hitting 20 connects every single day, no matter what. No excuses.
So what I'm hearing you say, Kody, is that work actually works.
It does. I know it's hard to believe. A lot of people think that you get into this business and you can drive around in your white BMW and you can go golf at 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. Unfortunately, you can do that, but you probably won't be able to afford to do it for very long.
Well, doesn't the BMW automatically add like to your paycheck? Isn't that how that works?
It adds 500 Instagram followers.
Yeah.
And they're usually the wrong ones.
Yeah.
I always say I was talking about this before. We talk about this in our office, which is a thing called a trophy excuse, which means it's a story that you tell society or everybody else in your life that they applaud, but you still didn't do your thing. Right. So if yours is, 2 appointments a day or 20 connects a day or whatever your standard is for you, Kody's is 20 connects a day. Hey, listen, the reason as to why you didn't make the connects could be because you were donating your time to charity. You were going to save a baby seal. You were hanging out with your kids. You took your kids to practice. All those things can be great reasons. But did you do the thing? And if the answer is no, then guess what? The market doesn't care what you were doing instead, even if it was great. And so what Kody's really learned is like the principle that is it's and not or. And so people like to use trophy excuses as to the reasons as to why they're not doing the thing. Um,
100%.
yeah. So Kody, so you just start off, how did you start? Like, what did you start on? So I must have given you like thousands of leads, hot, warm buyers, warm sellers. I walked in, I had a sack full of just people ready to rock and roll, and I handed it over to you.
Yeah. I don't wish that on anyone. I think that would be a killer to anyone's business. And that is not what happened for me. What happened to me is the same thing that happens to every single agent on our team. How we start everybody, you join the team, you want to put 200 people into your database from your sphere of influence, straight into whatever CRM you're using the first week. And then you want to call with the script for calling your sphere of influence, asking them if they know anybody who's looking to buy or sell any real estate, if they have any real estate needs this year, and asking them if they want a free home equity report, a free home evaluation. So you
But
get into
Kody,
that. Yep.
but Cody, sorry to interrupt you, but you didn't live in Lake Havasu. You've only lived here for a couple years, so how did you know anybody? Like you've only lived here for like a few years, and you were working like 90% of the time. You grew up in Phoenix, so like,
So I do
how
want to
did you
touch
even
on
have
that.
200?
I don't think that you need to, like, you could use the process that we use and the process that has gotten me to where I am today in any market. You can move me to any market, any city in the US, and we could do the exact same thing and just replicate it. And all it is hard work. So you put the people in. Most of my sphere of influence lived in Phoenix, Arizona, which is hours away. Some of them do come out to Havasu, maybe have some second homes here. And then most of the people that I had that I'd met at in Havasu were the ones that were from the gym. Other than that, I didn't hang out with any of my employees. I did start to put some of the employees into my CRM after that worked for me, but I wasn't like going out and hanging out with all of these people in Havasu when I worked at Albertsons. It was pretty much just work. I went to the gym. I'd have a bunch of friends come out from Phoenix, or I'd go back to visit them from Phoenix because that's where I lived and grew up my entire life. I'd never been to Havasu before I came out here and worked. I started on a Monday morning at Albertsons. My first day in town was Friday night. So you could literally do that anywhere. But first, you put your sphere of influence in there, and then you get on the auto dialer, whatever system you guys have. We have a system with thousands of leads that are just homeowners in Havasu. They're not really a lead, but they own a home in Havasu. So they are going to buy or sell a home at some point. And I just started cold calling in the database. When I first started this, I would cold call for 40, 50, 60 hours every single month. I was cold calling for 2 to 6 hours a day every single day of the week. And then I would door knock and I was circle prospecting for open houses. So my favorite thing about open houses is how you can touch all forms of lead generation. So first you start cold calling because you need to learn how to talk to people about real estate when you're new. And the best way to do it is on the phone. The reason for that is if I mess up with you on a phone call, all I do is hang up and I call another person. If I mess up with you and we're talking face to face, it's a lot more awkward. So we put the phone first, then we'll start door knocking. Now I can have a face to face conversation, inviting people to my open house, offering them free home equity reports, dropping off home equity reports to them. I can post it online on social media, put it all over the group pages, pass out the flyers, and then you get to host the open house. So you're cold calling, door knocking, posting online, sending email to, in the beginning, the small database that you have, inviting them to the open house too, calling all of them. But then you get to host the open house where you're going to meet the buyers and sellers. And I've literally built my entire business off of open houses, doing the level 10 step process before the open house. And then hosting the open house is just the icing on the cake where you get to meet people that might want to buy a house today, tomorrow, next week, next year, whatever.
I love it. Open houses, like people ask me, Matt, if you were to put in any market, had to start over again, what would you do? Exactly what Kody just said. You don't need a budget. You don't need it. You got to do the work. You got to build the skill through the work, and you got to get face to face with buyers and sellers. How do you do?
Yep.
That's my favorite thing about open houses is like agents have this weird misconception of open houses to sell the house. No, the open house is there to lead generate and to have an opportunity to get face to face with more buyers and sellers. That's what it's there.
100%.
And so, but well, the open house failed. Why did it fail? Well, number one, I did it the day of. I didn't market it. I didn't door knock. I didn't circle prospect. I put out one sign. I didn't send flyers. I didn't none of that. And then, two people showed up. Wait a minute, you got face to face with two people that know you're a real estate agent, know the house is for sale, and they walked in the door to meet you as a stranger, and that was a failure? Like
Yeah.
that's a damn good day, right? And so just I think people have their brains wired wrong around that because that now you can build a business off of those two people if you do it correctly. I want to go back. I heard you say a couple things. Number one, you're going to close on how many deals this year? Two what?
Probably around 225, 230.
225, 230 transactions this year in this marketplace as an agent on a team.
Yes, sir.
Pretty phenomenal. I also wanted, like Dustin mentioned earlier, that we're going to be doing an agent-led mastermind inside of the Built for More community. Kody is going to be leading that alongside Lauren, who is director of sales on my team. And your and Lauren's story, Kody, are very, very similar. It's crazy how success leaves clues. I didn't know your story, but Lauren worked two jobs the first 6 months as a mom and I think Gabby was 4 years old when she first started. She had a 4-year-old at home working two jobs, and she was still the activity leader in our organization. Right? It's
Right on.
crazy how that works into the progression of that work turns into skill. That skill provides opportunity and growth and all those things. So it's just crazy how those stories line up. And I can't wait for those agent-led masterminds, dude. It's gonna be so good. And then I also there's a couple other things, and I want to get back to your story, but like I think it's really important we slow down. You had mentioned like there's one thing that got you there. I think that was such a pivotal moment that people maybe could skip past. Because how many agents right now have clarity on what the one thing is they need to do in order to hit their goals? Very, very few. Because we
Mhm.
like to make it complicated and complex so that we can have a backdoor out of our commitments. And so what I love is that Dustin and Kody both simplify. It's 20 connects a day. That's it. If I hit my 20 connects, everything else falls into place. I want to invite everyone to realize that figure out what your thing is and then commit and do your thing. It's it. Right. And so I actually learned this from Lauren, who I was just talking about earlier. She sent me a video, and I think so many people get distracted around the thing, and we allowed these different distractions to come in. And I can't remember who it was. It was an influencer. They said, thinking about the thing isn't doing the thing. Talking to someone else about the thing isn't doing the thing. Preparing to do the thing isn't doing the thing. The only thing doing the thing is doing the thing. Just do
Mhm.
the thing, and everything else
Yeah.
falls into place, right?
Thinking about the thing is not
Yeah.
doing the thing. I got a buddy,
No.
he's like, man, I work all the time. I go, no, you think about work all the time, dude.
It's on
You
my
It's not
execute.
whiteboard.
working.
Thinking
Yeah.
is not working.
Yes. I love that. So true.
I love it. And then there's one other thing that I want to continue. I heard you say, Kody, that Dustin said, "Well, I gave you this bag of leads and opportunities when you came in." You're like, "No, that would have been the worst thing you could have done for me."
Oh
I
yeah.
want to slow down there because I love that mindset. And I say this in our organization all the time. We've built a proven track record, much like the Apex team, much like you guys have, right? Of like we have a high success rate of our agents, and we have a bunch of agents that are just dogs. But I think one of the things I've recognized is that when someone comes into our boot camp or an onboarding class and they get success quick, it's bad news. It is bad
Yep.
news every single time. And so, Kody, I would love for you to like expand upon why you think that is in your journey and why you didn't want the easy stuff and why I may have recognized that as a pattern in our organization too.
Hmm. So great question. I think to me, the reason that it wouldn't be good to be handed a bunch of leads, or even we talk about it, like I don't want someone to start on the team and sit in open house the first day where a buyer walks in and buys the open house, because that's not something that regularly happens. And you don't want someone to get used to irregular things. You want to show them that, hey, after you put the reps in and you make your 20 connects for 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, then maybe you get your first listing signed, or maybe you get a buyer broker and you take someone out. You have to show someone that it requires work to get results. And if the results come without doing the work, people think you don't have to do the work. And then you see
Yes.
it. And there's sometimes it happens where there's an agent that joins the team, pops a couple deals from their sphere of influence, thinks that really, wow, I got 20 grand in the bank now, and I didn't make my connects. Why do I need to continue to do this? I could just post on Facebook like I did last week and maybe make another sale. It just doesn't happen. You need to put the reps in. You need to cold call. You need to door knock. You need to do the open houses if you want to be successful for a long time and build a big business.
I love it.
Yeah.
I talk about controlling the controllables. What I heard you say there is that What Kody focuses on is the things that he can control, which is the 20 connects. And he's also building a predictable, repeatable, scalable business. And then the other things that happen, like a post on social media turning into a client or an open house turning into a client, are now icing on the cake of the business that he has built sustainably that is predictable over time. And then
Yep.
that's how you continue to grow and scale.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas most agents do the opposite, right? And they're just waiting for the like closings to fall from the sky, right? Because now they're real estate agents, so they're successful. They have to be because everyone drives a BMW, right? And so I
Yep.
got to be successful now that I got my license. And I think so many people just they when they get that early success, I just see them. And Kody, you said it, but I just see them. They now expect that is now normal. And
Hmm.
that is how I'm going to do my business moving forward. And I'm going to ignore what Matt or Dustin or Kody say because they don't understand. I just got to deal my first week. What do they know? Right. And
Yep.
it sets false expectations and precedent.
Yep. You build what I call the psychological house of cards.
Mm.
It's like you have no foundation, you've built no habits, you've built no, like if you've ever heard somebody go like, "Oh, I'm going to go on a, 2-week cleanse." I go, "Great." And then you hear like someone's like, "Well, I gained all the weight back and then some." It's like it's because you built no habits within those 2 weeks. Like you want to build the habit of showing up every single day, which Kody did to open houses. Build the habit of making your daily connects and or setting your daily appointments, whatever your standard is inside your organization, and making a daily habit of showing up early and leaving late. Like these are habits. And I wanted you to think about your kids. What happens to kids where you give them everything?
Yeah.
They become weak and entitled. And that's not who you want to be as an agent. You don't want to be weak and entitled. You want to be strong and have a predictable business that isn't built on a psychological house of cards, but is built on fucking resiliency, is built on discipline, and is built on hard work. And that's what Kody's done. So,
Love it.
um, one thing I want to get into, Kody, and this is one thing that I think is really important, and it's something that I witnessed in your journey is output. Okay, like the idea or the principle of just more. Okay,
Hmm.
now today you are, I mean, light years ahead of when you first started. But like when you first started, with regards to like social interactions with people and connecting with people and being a conversationalist, where would you say you were on a scale of 1 to 10?
Like a five.
Like a five. Okay. So how did you beat everybody else being on as far as a conversationalist, having the bravado, understanding social cues and emotional intelligence, being out of five? How did you still beat everybody else?
Just more output. It was more output and then more reps. So more connects where I think a lot of times you have agents that like the average agent, I think out there in the US probably makes less than 5 connects a day. So if I'm making 20 to 30 connects a day, like in the beginning, I mean, it was 20 to 30, maybe 40 on your best day because you
Mhm.
didn't have anything else to do. If you don't have any pending, all you should be doing is making connects. So I was making 5 to 10 times the amount of I was having 5 to 10 times more conversations than the average agent. So I was getting ahead of people just because I was having more conversations. And then I got better throughout having the conversations. And then also there came into reading some different books and trying to dial in certain things about communicating with people, which makes you better. But I think ultimately the way to get better at anything is to just do more.
Mhm. How many open houses were you doing in the beginning per week?
Minimum of four.
4 a week. The first year, I swear to you, did you leave? Did you go on vacation your very first year at once?
No.
Okay. So he changed the culture of our organization, Matt. Whereas, like, I had been trying to preach this, and by the way, I want you to hear this, team leaders. Is I've been trying to preach open houses, open houses, open houses, open. And you know how Matt, like, if you haven't said it 10,000 times, you haven't said it once.
Yep.
It's like, my God, I was like, till I was blue in the face, and I was like, well, if you're gonna say it, you're gonna need to be blue in the face all the time. I'm gonna need you to be a Smurf, okay? So I would push it, push it, push it. Then Kody came in. I'm like, dude, you're doing like 4 to 5 open houses every single week, dude. Door knock, level 10 open houses, circle prospect like a madman, and just live inside of houses. And he's like, done. And he did it. And everyone saw him starting to win and starting to win and starting to win. And then all of a sudden we had an open house board. And then all of a sudden everybody in our organization started doing open houses because they saw somebody win with it, which was so awesome. And it wasn't once a week. It wasn't twice a week. It was 4 to 5 times a week. This guy was doing an open house, and all of them were level 10.
Thursday through
Um,
Sunday, every week.
yeah, every single week while you were door knocking, right? While you were doing
Yep.
circle prospecting, right? And you were filling, it was crazy. After 1 year, Matt, I had people on my team for 4 to 5 years at that time. In 1 year, he had more people in his database than anybody else inside of our organization. Because do you have what's your principle about adding people to the database?
Anybody that I talk to, I put them in the database. All of
Yeah.
them. Put the notes in there. I don't care if I've only communicated through Instagram or if I've only communicated through Facebook. Like, you're going in the database, so I do not miss following up with you. And then we can get into more database stuff, but there's some things that you
Yeah.
need to dial in database with for sure. It's the most important thing in your business, besides for
So
connects.
what I want you guys to get from this is more is usually the answer, guys. Sorry. More appointments, more calls, more connects, more, like you just heard him say his skill level was a 1 to 10, a 5, but his will level, which is his willing level, was a 20 out of 10. And that's why will always beat skill. And now
All day,
today,
every day.
all day, every day. And now today, Kody, your skill level is what? I'd say you're up in the nines or tens as far as being able to communicate with people. You're working with multi-million-dollar investors. A lot of your business has come from investors because of your speed and your aggressiveness. And so,
Yep.
yeah,
Well, there's a
that's
couple
what.
things I want to add. So there's a quote that I developed is I think so many agents are searching for higher quality leads. Right? You talk in the industry, you go to a conference, you go to a webinar, and you ask everyone, "Hey, who wants higher quality leads?" Everyone's going to like foam at the mouth. But here's what I've realized is that here's how you get higher quality of leads. The quality of the lead is determined by the skill and the will of the agent. Period. If you want higher quality leads, you have to have the will to put in the effort that builds skill. Like that's it. That is the only secret, right? And so I think so many people look past that. And another Lauren quote. I feel like I'm just like pumping her up, but I've learned a lot from her too. She's changed a lot in our organization. Is that she said sometimes you're not good at something because you haven't been bad long enough. And so many
Mm.
agents struggle to become good or skilled because they're not willing to set their ego to the side and fall on their face. And I think that that is just required. Like I know personally, you know how I've learned so much? Because I've fucked so much up. And like mistakes are your biggest lessons. And I'll make another one later on today. And guess what? I'll be proud of it because I get to learn from it. Right. And so I think so many people are just afraid of that. And especially, here's what I see, Kody, too, that I want your opinion on is that as agents start to progress, and let's say that someone comes in and they follow the plan, right? And then they start to get some traction and momentum. They got 3 pendings, they got 5 pendings, they got 6 pendings. What I see is they start going up this ladder, and then all of a sudden they ride the roller coaster down to the bottom of the hill. My quote
Yep.
around that is most people stop doing what works because it works. What are your thoughts on that? What was different in you that you didn't fall for that trap so other people can learn from?
So I talked to Dustin about this a lot, and we've worked out a lot of this during coaching because I have gone up and gone down and gone up and gone down. But as you go up, your fall gets shorter every
Yeah.
time. So you need to set like a baseline. So for me, I'm working on right now increasing my baseline to a minimum of 20 pending. Right now, my baseline's probably at 15. If I get below 15, people know in the office that like, ooh, he's going to be fired up to get back above 15 again and continue to raise the bar. So unfortunately, some people go to 3 to 5 and then go to 0. And then they go to 8 or 9 and then they go to 0 rather than go to 3 to 5 and then hold 2 at all times and then go to 5 to 7 and hold 4 and just keep increasing your 0 number should be a positive number, whether it's 2, 4, 6, 8, whatever your goals are. You can figure out how many pending you need to carry at a time to make yourself serious about coming in and continuing to increase. But I think a lot of people get comfortable and they get some money in their bank account. They feel comfortable that way. Or you get the pending transactions and you have 3 to 5 pending. It might be the highest you've ever been to, or 6 to 8. And now you're focused on home inspections and you're putting the client going and measuring the carpet or measuring for furniture. You're putting all of these things in front of making your connects rather than just making your connects. And that's why it's important to get that stuff done in the morning, say no to certain things, set boundaries around your time that you're going to spend lead generating, set boundaries around your time that you're going to spend going over to properties too many times, and really do everything that you possibly can to continue to make your connects when you have pending transactions. There shouldn't be anything that comes in front of your connects. It's the only way to keep your pendings up.
Yeah, I love it. I dude, spot on. And I coach people through this too. As a matter of fact, we had a $1 million mastermind at my new lake house for our agents that had closed $1 million or more in a year this year. And dude, it was so good. It was better than a lot of team leader masterminds that I've been to. Credit to my, like, not taken away from anyone, just credit to the amazing agents in our organization and how they showed up. And one of the big focuses that we talked about there was identity. And I heard you just talk about that, Kody, is that what the most value I can bring to top performers in our world is help them raise their floor. I think so many people talk about, hey, raise your ceiling. I'm hitting my head on the ceiling. Yeah, okay. Break through the ceiling, cool. But are you raising your floor in the process? Are you actually evolving as a human and raising your standards? Like, one of the things I learned from John Cheplack is, if you can live a life where your accomplishments become your standards, you will never go backwards. So allow your accomplishment to become your new standard. And so one of the things that everyone committed to at this mastermind, funny enough, was they committed to what their new zero was, whether it's 5 or 4 or 7. And that's how we ended the mastermind. So I'd never heard you say that before, but it's funny how, like, these successful things just happen to be around successful people. Is that what we didn't talk about? Hey, what do you want to get your pendings to? It's like, hey, we're not going below this.
Yep.
Cool. I
One
want
thing I
to,
want,
yeah, go ahead.
okay, I just wanted to pop in here really quick because Kody, when you were talking about your ups and downs, because I think
Hmm.
I just want people to hear like a little background of this. Because you got a guy like Kody who's closing 100 deals. Do you remember the one time too, Kody, I mean, you had closed, it was like 140 deals so far in the year, and your pendings had dipped a little bit.
Yep.
And you came in, and you're frustrated, right? You remember that day?
Oh yeah.
Because I think team leaders, I want you to hear what Cody's nice conversation was behind the scenes, okay, inside my office, one on one, me and Kody. And I asked you a question. I don't know if you remember what the question was. This isn't planned, but I said, have you fallen off doing this thing, and this thing? Do you remember what I asked?
I think you asked me, what have you changed? Like, are you still doing the things that got you where, you had 140 closed? Are you still doing the exact same things that you were doing when you first started? And then I said,
Correct.
well, no, I'm not level 10ing open houses anymore. Or
Yes.
no, I'm not doing this. And I'm like, shit,
Yes.
I am in control of the outcome every single time. And the reason that I was feeling frustrated and my pendings weren't where I wanted them to be was because I had stopped doing the work 30, 60, 90 days prior to us having that conversation.
Guys, we talked about open houses. Like everyone wants to know, like, hey, so what's the conversation between you and Kody? I go, we talked about level 10 in open houses. Like you need to go back to what you did in the beginning. Literally, Kody committed back to level 10 open houses, back to door knocking, and back to circle prospecting. How long did it take, Kody, before your pendings were back up?
Like 2 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, I think I was gonna say 3 weeks. So 3 weeks, you're back over 16 pending again, and we're freaking rock and rolling. So just so you guys know, I will tell you this: the higher you go, the more you need to just refine back to that thing that got you there because you're more skilled now. So it's actually going to take less output. It's going to take less output. But what you do is you get more skilled and then you bring ego in there and then you remove the activity because you think you're better than the activity. I'm like, dude, you're a 10 now in communication. Go take that to door knocking. Go take that to the open house. Go take that to your circle prospecting. Oh, by the way, now you can talk about your results. You have
Mm-hmm.
140 closed. Go take that to, the wealthy neighborhoods of Lake Havasu City and go knock on those stores, right? Oh, by the way,
People
you've been
actually know who
posting
you are.
yeah, you've been
Yeah.
posting on social media every single day. Like, and you've been adding 20 people a day every single day. Like, so that's the behind the scenes. It's like, boom, guys, back up. We're talking about open houses and door knocking. I'm not trying to
But
make it more sophisticated as a leader because I have somebody who is such an elite animal like Kody.
Well, dude, I hear you, but I want to give a different perspective. I don't think you talked about open houses. The open houses weren't what moved the needle. It was the fact that you helped him revisit his prior commitments that he had abandoned. That's what it
mm,
like. It didn't. The open houses were a byproduct. I think the magic in that conversation was the ability for Dustin to help Kody self-discover and revisit the things that he had abandoned that have gotten him to the success. Open houses were just a result of that, right? And so, like, I don't want people to hear that and say, "Well, I just got to train more on open houses." That's not going to solve your problem. What solves the problem is getting to revisit the commitments that they've abandoned that got them success. It just happened to be open houses for Kody.
You
I
got
want
it.
to I want to talk about a couple things. Is um, as Dustin was talking about, like it's not more things, you got to narrow your focus. I heard Kody say that too as he's progressed, and I want everyone to zero in on that because as people get success, they start getting momentum and traction and skill. They tend to start looking external, and they look for shiny objects. They look for things that are going to be hacks or things that are going to help them scale or different things. And every single time, it is always an internal thing, not an external thing.
Mhm.
So Kody said this too. Dustin said you got to narrow. Cody said you got to create boundaries and figure out what you need to say no to.
Mhm.
So many people preach you got to do more, you got to work harder, you got to do these things, but they don't include, and also you got to remove the shit. You got to remove the thing that doesn't serve the mission. You got to create boundaries for your life so that you can say yes to the more things. It's not like just add more add if you have so much shit in your life, you just add more shit, you're gonna have a shitty life. You got to remove the shit and add the things that are gonna actually serve the mission. So I think it's just important that we have that like recycling of our priorities in life as we grow. And then Dustin said this too. And then I got a question for Kody. Dustin said Kody transformed the culture of our organization. Team leaders, listen, it only takes one. All the challenges, all the struggles, all of the things where you feel like you were held hostage in your organization and you were handcuffed and you're struggling and you're fighting tooth and nail to just make a dollar. You're trying to figure out how to make this thing work. Recruiting is the answer because you never know who is the next Kody. It only takes one to transform everything. And that's why recruiting is always the answer.
Mhm. Spot on.
Dustin, anything to add to that before I go to the next question?
No, that was spot on, man. And
Cool.
and Kody knows it. And because he follows the systems and processes, you know what he's earned in the inside of the organization? He has earned the influence from everybody around him. And because he comes from contribution and he's always asking for ways to serve, he has also earned opportunities within our organization. And because he comes from abundance, okay, he's earned the respect from our organization. And because of all of those things, he has a sense of humility to him. So then he's earned that, like when it comes to like when he meets with people and he meets with clients and he's this, bigger than life guy, you're like, dude, Cody's a really nice guy. I go, yeah, he comes from contribution. He has humility. Okay. He's always looking to serve, always looking to be better, and always looking to contribute in any way, shape, or form. And he has little to no ego involved in any of it. Like, how do you hate a guy like that?
Yeah.
You know what you do for a guy like that? Anything, anything, right? Kody could call anyone on our team right now and be like, "Hey, man, could you do me a favor?" And this is the top dog, right? And whatever you need, man, whatever you need, whatever you need. And you go, man, why does so many people do so much for Kody? Because Kody would do that for them.
Yep.
And that's what a fucking leader is. And that's exactly what he has done inside of our organization. It's what he's done in our community. It's what he's done with like our my investors even know who he is because of his results and because he focuses on relationships. So those are the two things, man. Results and relationships. and bringing contribution, humility, and um, and always looking for how he can uh, help and serve. And so that's what also has made him incredible. With his success, he hasn't brought on this like asshole approach or this ego approach or this I'm better than somebody else approach. It's actually quite the opposite. He goes, man, I've been given this like elevator up to this floor. Man, I want to send it back down. I want more people to come up here with me. How can I help and serve? What can I do to help? And he teaches classes, he runs team meetings, and he's an absolute savage. So yeah, and I'm not. I tell all of you team leaders this. I do not apologize for giving Kody opportunities. He has earned every single one that has came his way. Period. And this is what is also funny, and I'll leave it at this. I give I give opportunities to certain people that have done certain things, and it's so funny. Kody always takes advantage of it at the highest possible level. Look at where he's at right now. He's at our Trinity development. Kody, how many days a week are you at that Trinity development?
7, if I can be.
Do you guys hear that? Do you know that there was a significant amount of people inside my organization that got the opportunity to sit up there? Kody is there every day, every day. So, guys, I give equal opportunity. I always say this: everyone is like I treat everybody. I give equal opportunity, but I don't treat everybody the same. I don't. And so, yeah,
I'll
guys.
help you with a quote, Dustin, because we're in alignment with this. I don't apologize for giving opportunities. They've been earned.
Yep.
Nothing's been given, everything's been earned. But I
Mhm.
treat everyone fairly. That does not mean equally,
Yeah, that's good.
right?
Yeah, I
Like
love
that's
that.
that's
Yeah.
the difference. And so it's been earned, right? And so I don't apologize for it, just like you. And so I think that one of the things I heard you say about Kody is that Kody has become a leader in your organization. And I want you guys to hear me when I say this. Leadership has nothing to do with title or rank and everything to do with behaviors and activities.
Can I thank you for saying that. I want you guys to hear this. I'm going to tell you this story really quick. Has nothing to do with rank, has nothing to do with titles, has nothing to do with that shit, right?
Yep.
It has to do with, are you a warning or are you an example? Okay. Kody's an example. He leads with humility, he leads with contribution, and he doesn't focus on what he's going to get and how it's going to serve him. Kody, did you get a call from one of our agents the other day that wanted help with a $5 million offer?
Yep.
And what did they want to split it with you? What was it? What was the split?
50-50.
A $5 million offer. One of our agents on our team was like, didn't really want to didn't know what to do. I go, well, who on the team do you want help from? She's like, I really want Kody's help.
By the
And
way,
she's going to
it's out
pay
for
him
acceptance right now.
she's going to pay a 50% referral fee. Why? Because he's a leader. When you contribute, guys, and give and give and give, and you don't attach any strings to the shit, guess what happens? You start to receive, 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 receive. The greatest thing I ever did as a leader is act in abundance, which is give without expectation at every opportunity in every relationship inside and outside of business. And it was weird when I didn't have any strings attached, quote unquote, the amount that I started to receive tenfold. When I was always focused on what I was going to get, guess what? I didn't get much. So I think that's just a perfect story, Matt, of
I
like
love it.
his leadership. We have a five. It'll be one of the biggest deals ever closed in Lake Havasu City, and Kody was asked to help with it.
Well, I think it's a great story because a lot of agents they fall for the trap of, well, what's in it for me?
Mhm.
Why would I teach this class? What do I get out of this? And I think we're just focused on the wrong things, right? You got
Amen.
to give for the right reasons, and it always returns every single time. Um,
Amen.
Kody, I've got a question for you. I want to put Dustin on the spot because I'm genuinely curious. And I think team leaders, I want you guys to listen because I'm asking this selfishly because I want to grow as a leader, and so I want you guys to really tune into this. Kody, what is it that first inside of Dustin and his organization attracted you to him as a leader? Is first
Mhm.
question. And second, as you've grown and scaled to the massive levels that you're at now, what is it the inside of Dustin and his leadership that has you wanting to stay and contribute at the levels that you do?
I love it. So first off, the reason that I chose the team was because I was referred to some people that I worked out with that were very close to Dustin. So I started following him online, looking at the things that he was posting. And then I came in, met with him, and I started to come to the team meetings. And this happens to every single person that comes into our team meetings. You fit in with our team 100% if you are focused on personal development and you want to get better as a human, we are the team for you. If you don't want to get better as a human, usually you don't fit in with our team, but you sit in with one team meeting. I mean, we had multiple people this morning at our team meeting that were like, I'm just grateful to be part of this environment. This is incredible. And that's what we get to experience every single day with the people in the office. And I know a lot of real estate teams probably aren't like that because we are technically all self employed, but we truly do work together. Like, I try to help as many other agents on the team because, for one, I want to be the number one team in Arizona and then continue to become the number one EXP team in the USA. So I want to help all of the agents on the team win, and everybody has that same mindset. But if you want to be a team leader and you want to keep people around like me, because I'm sure you're not surprised, but I've been asked by tons of people, when are you going out on your own? When are you doing this? When are you starting your own team? When are you like, I have absolutely no interest to start my own team. I have no interest on going out on my own. I don't think that I could, for one, do what I'm doing on my own because the environment that you're in and you're plugged into are part of my success and the reason that I am where I am and how I've gotten to here. Two, we have an unbelievable transaction team, director of operations, and a full-time marketing person that works at our office. They're all absolute killers. I couldn't do what I do without them. And then the biggest thing is Dustin creates opportunities for the team and for us with the developments, with the investors, with him. He continues to grow to where I just have to continue to work harder to try to catch up to him. So I think where a lot of team leaders lose the person that is very good for their team and working very hard. When you get to a point like where I'm at, where I'm like, I'll just go start my freaking own team then, I could probably take a couple of agents from this team and we can go have a great thing. Well, when you have somebody that's also growing at a faster pace than you are, there would be absolutely no reason you would ever even want to look into that. So the thing that I see most team leaders that have a revolving door concept, which I don't focus on the outside too much, but you do see some of that happen, especially in a small town like Havasu. They're the agents that start a team, and their reason for starting a team is because I want to make more money and I want to work less. Those two things should never be said in the same sentence. So you see these team leaders, I don't know if they're making more money than they were when they were on their own or not, but they're on vacation and they're out of town all the time and they're posting about it. And then you see agents constantly joining and leaving, joining and leaving. And it's just a revolving door team with no culture. And Dustin has built an incredible culture because he continues to work harder than anyone else in the room, except for maybe me. We can argue that point, though.
I do want to ask this question. That was good, Kody, and I love you, buddy. But what will you net this year? Net income.
Somewhere between 950 and a million.
Okay. So, real quick, if you're listening to this, how many of you that run and operate teams are netting 950 to a million? How many? By the way, Kody, do you take your wife to dinner every single weekend?
Mhm.
Do you
Yep.
eat dinner with your wife every single night?
Yep.
Do you work out every single day?
Every morning.
Have you taken your wife on trips that you never even thought you were able to take her on?
Oh, I never even thought life would be like this at all. No way.
Have, have you invested in companies with me?
Yep.
Have you invested in developments with me?
Yep.
Do you have money in the bank?
Yep.
More than you ever thought you would?
Way more. I mean, I'd never seen. I remember when I sold my first house and I saw how much was in my account. I was like, God dang, this is crazy, because I just profited like 100 something thousand on the sale of my first house. I was, this is awesome. Like, and then the problem was when I was back then, I was working, salary job. I had a great career, but when you're just getting the same paycheck every single week, I'm not like a great saver. But when you start to increase your income, that is the number one thing that you can control to then invest it in other places.
Yeah.
Increase your income is
Well,
better than anything else.
here's what I want you guys to hear on this call. When things in your life are going really, really good, when you're making a lot of money, when you're doing better than you ever thought you'd do, just focus on doing the activities that got you there. And also, if you stick with the people that help get you there, okay, and they're also growing and they're also living out the values and they're also like people, guys, the grass is green where it's watered. Okay.
100%.
And so if I continue to grow and Kody continues to grow, what reason would we need to ever not rock together?
Yep.
Ever. And that's what people don't get. And a lot of people do this when things get really, really good, they throw a baseball bat in the spoke. And then they wonder why they flip over the handlebars. Just keep doing what got you there. It will get you to the next place.
Yeah. That's John Cheplack says it all the time. The biggest lie that we hear is what got you here won't get you there. Bullshit.
Such a lie. Bullshit.
What got you here will get you to wherever you want to go. You just got to keep
Yep.
doing it. The reason that it doesn't is because you stop doing it.
Yep. I literally started making my connects with when I did short sales. Okay. Door knocking, circle prospecting, and short sales, calling 30, 60, 90-day lates and knocking their doors. Then I went and ran a Keller Williams. Weird. I was doing my connects every single day to try to recruit. Right. Then I started a team and it was recruit. Then I started a development company and now I make my connects to investors to raise money. I have literally not stopped making my connects ever. What got me there has gotten me there. So
Love it.
we got 1 minute and I got a hard stop, fellas. Matt, you got one more last question?
Kody, an agent that's listening right now that says, "Man, I relate with this. I feel like I can relate with Kody. I want to be the next Kody." Let's leave them with some words of wisdom. How do they become that next level of success that they feel they have inside of them?
Never stop connecting with anyone, anywhere, anytime about real estate. I would double down on cold calling, door knocking, circle prospecting, posting on social media, and just do open houses. That is how any agent can be successful and can win in this market and any market going forward. I think as many face-to-face interactions that you can make with a buyer or a seller are the most important things. And it starts over the phone until you get face-to-face.
Really
There you
good.
go. There you go. Thank you guys for listening to the Built for More podcast. Matthew, always good hanging with you, brother. Always good. And Matt's so good at the questions. I love the questions. I love Kody Weitzel. He's a phenomenal guy, one of the top in the game. Also, look for our agent-led mastermind by Kody and Lauren. And if you want to learn more about the Built for More community, guys, reach out to Matt or I. The links are below if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're on Spotify or iTunes, guys, just find us on Facebook or Instagram. Shoot us a message, and we'll hop on a call with you. Until then, keep connecting.